breaking news. Arsenal have agreed a deal to sign Kai Havertz from Chelsea. He will be an Arsenal player. Yes, people, welcome back to another Arsenal transfer news video. As always, if you love being kept up to date with daily Arsenal transfer news videos, this is the place for you. Make sure you subscribe down below. We're to 3,000 subscribers. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section regarding Kai Havertz's move to Arsenal. Let's get straight into the tweet by reputable journalist David Ornstein, who says this: Arsenal have reached an agreement in principle with Chelsea to sign forward Kai Havertz. Deal for 24-year-old Germany international is worth around £65 million. Personal terms are already in place. Attacker's medical will follow in due course. And when everyone knows when the medical's the final thing left, the deal's basically done because it's very rare for a player to fail a medical. So guys, Havertz is going to become an Arsenal player. Wow, I did not expect this at the start of the window. If you told me before the window opened, or even if you told me last week before Arsenal even linked to Havertz, right, that Havertz will become an Arsenal player this summer transfer window, I would have A, laughed, B, thought you were crazy, and C, gone, I hope not. Because I am not a massive fan of Havertz. I think those of you that have been here before would know that he's not my cup of tea. I don't think he's the type of striker that really should be playing for any of the big six clubs. There's nothing he really excels at in his game, in my opinion. With that being said, Arsenal signed him. And as an Arsenal fan, I have to get behind it. No matter if we sign the worst player on planet Earth, I will back that player while he's in an Arsenal shirt. That's just how it is. I can have my opinion on them. And my opinion is that Havertz, I don't think he's the right player for Arsenal at this day and age, at this stage, from what I've seen of him at Chelsea. I have no doubt about his quality when he was at Leverkusen, but that was the Bundesliga. How many times have you seen players like Sancho at the Bundesliga at Dortmund go to Man United and then completely stink up? So I know his quality in the Bundesliga in Germany, but coming to the Premier League, he hasn't quite proved it for me. So look, I think a lot of Arsenal fans get mistaken where if you say you don't like a player, they just assume you don't back him. That's not the case. You can have an opinion on a player, but still back him. While he's in an Arsenal shirt, I'll get behind him 100% and support him as I support the whole team. But right now, he's not the signing I would have wanted Arsenal to make. That aside, the player aside, the fee, £65 million. Now, I'm hearing reports that it's going to be £50 million guaranteed with £15 million in add-ons. And those £50 million are split over 3 seasons. And it's coming up and around 16 million or just over 16 million a season. To obviously help with the FFP, the way we're able to alleviate the FFP stress by spreading the transfer fee over multiple seasons. Look, the hard and fast of it is £65 million for Kai Havertz. 50 million add-ons, fine. Still £50 million. It's still a massive overpay in my opinion. I would have paid £25 million for that player maximum. You can say Chelsea would never accept that. Fine, don't go in for the player then. Like, you don't have to go for every single player that's on the market if they don't fit the amount you're willing to spend on them. 65 million for Kai Havertz is a massive, massive amount of money. I think he becomes our second most expensive player behind Nico Pepe. Obviously, that is subject to change with the Declan Rice deal looking like it's going to go ahead for over 100 million. He will become Arsenal's most expensive transfer. But as of now, before the Declan Rice deal goes ahead, Kai Havertz is Arsenal's second biggest transfer of all time, I believe. And it's a lot of money. Like, guys, let me know in the comment section if you disagree with me. But I genuinely think 65 million is a big overpay. Now, I would have spent that money differently. I'm not gonna delve too much into this because obviously it's all hypotheticals now. I don't want to go talk about what I would have done with the money because the deal's done at the end of the day. We might as well talk about what Kai Havertz can bring to Arsenal. But I personally would have saved that money and spent it on Caicedo. And then you'd be able to sell Partey. You wouldn't even have to buy Romeo Lavia either. It would have been better net spend if you just spent that money on Caicedo. Or if you do want an attacking midfielder, Arda Güler is available. Turkish international, £15 million release clause. Go get him, man. He's a baller for 20. He's 18 years old, born in 2005. Scored a brilliant goal. Anyone didn't watch it, by the way, watch his goal against Wales the other day. Absolutely superb for Turkey. So yeah, him, James Maddison's available on the market as well. So many other options for a cheap amount of money. Either way, Arsenal gone for Kai Havertz. Stay tuned as well. I will have a welcome to Arsenal Kai Havertz video as I do with every single Arsenal signing. I've been doing that for the past 2-3 seasons now, where I'll be analysing their strengths, weaknesses and potential Arsenal fit. You don't want to miss it. Those videos always go down superbly on this channel. So make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss that. As soon as this transfer is officially wrapped up, I will drop in a video on Kai Havertz's strengths, weaknesses and Arsenal fit. But as for this video, it's my opinion on it, right? It's my opinion on it. Why Arsenal have gone for him? Look, to be honest with you guys, I don't know the exact reason. Normally when Arsenal sign players, right, you have an inkling as to why they've gone for them. You might not fully agree with it, but you see why. You can piece it together. Like the Julian Timber, for example. I didn't expect us to go for Timber, but I see why. Centre back, young, captain of Ajax, can play right back and centre back similar to Ben White. It makes sense. With Kai Havertz, I can't really piece it together, to be honest with you guys. Does he start for us? If that's the case, where does he start? Does he start in Xhaka's position and Rice comes in as a defensive midfielder? Maybe. Doesn't really replace Jesus for me because I think Jesus is a better all-round player than him. He's not going to play off the right or left because Saka and Martinelli got those positions on lock and we know that Arteta likes playing wingers that can keep their width. And he's not going to get in ahead of Ødegaard. He was our best player last season. So where does he start? So the only way I can see him playing is off the bench in a bench role. But if that's the case, you're spending £65 million on a super sub. It's a lot of money, man. Let's be real about it. It's a lot of money. And Kai Havertz isn't exactly a proven goal scorer you're going to take off the bench to get you some goals last minute, last 10, 15 minutes. That's not his game. Another option is we run like a double false nine with Jesus and Kai Havertz in the team. But if that's the case, you're going to have to change around the whole system. And we know Arteta can do that. And look, I've got nothing against having multiple systems and having multiple options of attacking teams. I think that's always the best thing to have multiple options, right? NSGFC. Always make sure you can attack teams from different areas. You don't want to keep playing the same system, the same formation, because after a while it stagnates and after a while teams figure you out. So I have nothing against Arsenal changing the whole system. But with Kai Havertz in there, right, it's going to be a massive change to the system. I don't think it's quite ready for it yet. Arsenal last season did brilliantly. We finished second in the table in the Premier League, right? And we didn't just finish second in the Premier League because we fluked our position because everyone was bad. We were worthy of that second place finish. We were fantastic last season. We played certain games where we dominated the opposition. Didn't just win at White Hart Lane or at Tottenham Stadium 2-0. We battered them. Do you get what I mean? Like, we're beating teams and playing much better football than them. Against Manchester United at the Emirates, right? That second half, it was one-way traffic the whole second half where the walls were closing on Manchester United. That is a system that works for Arsenal. I'm all for adaptation, but is it the right time for that? I'm not too sure. So if Havertz comes in, I can see him coming off the bench to start. Obviously, Arteta knows best. And I think with Arteta as well, right, guys? Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Mikel Arteta. I've said this from the absolute start. I think the way he holds himself as a man, his management principles, his system on the pitch, his philosophy, I'm a massive fan of all of it. But at the same time, I do think Arteta, he's taken a massive gamble here. Because, trust me, guys, this isn't an Arteta signing. It's an Arteta signing 100%. There's no way Edu sat there. There's no way the scouts have sat there and gone, Arteta, we want you to sign Havertz. There's no way. Arteta's gone to them, I want you to bring me Havertz. I don't care how much. Bring me Havertz for 65 million. I want him. So Arteta sat there and identified Havertz as his player. Maybe he's got something that we don't know yet. Like with the whole Ben White signing, everyone was like, is he playing centre-back, right-back? Ended up playing centre-back for the first season, then shifted to right-back. Obviously a whole change around. Is he planning something with Havertz, playing him in that Granit Xhaka role where he's like a box-to-box midfielder? Who knows, man? But I've got to trust Arteta in this situation. You have to. He's the manager, man. If you don't have faith in the manager, then what are you doing at a football club? Do you get what I mean? I've always been someone that says, right, if you trust the manager, back the manager. That's why I said when Arsenal first employed Mikel Arteta, I said, look, if you want to employ Mikel Arteta, fine by me. If you believe in Mikel Arteta, fine by me. But back him. If Arteta wants a player, get that player. And I feel like Arsenal are doing that. I feel like under Unai Emery and Arsene Wenger, they weren't back the same. Like, Unai Emery wanted Wilfried Zaha, and he gave him Nico Pepe. Do you get what I mean? Now, Arteta at times, a similar thing has happened. He wanted Lisandro Martinez, he got Zinchenko instead. He wanted Dusan Vlahovic, he got Gabriel Jesus instead. Do you get what I mean? He wanted Caicedo, he got Jorginho instead. So, little things do happen in that sense, I do agree. But Arteta sat there and said, I want Kai Havertz. And Arsenal have given him Kai Havertz. Edu's made it happen. He's overpaid, I agree, but he's given the man the player he wants. It's all about now what Arteta can do with him. Now, this Kai Havertz signing, a lot of Arsenal fans are annoyed by it. A lot of Arsenal fans are happy with it. But the fan base will always be split. Arsenal fan base is one of the biggest fan bases in the world, right? And when you have a massive fan base, the sample size is massive. So you're going to get differing opinions. You're going to have the people that say, oh, it's an incredible signing. What a player Havertz is. One of the best young players around. And you have the other people that say, oh my God, what a terrible player. Can't believe he's even in the Premier League. His best days were in Germany. He's not good enough for Arsenal. He doesn't excel in one attribute. And I agree with both sides. I do. I think I lean more to the side of I don't think he's good enough for Arsenal. Because, look, when he was at Chelsea, I remember doing a keep bench sell Chelsea edition, right? And I was saying, Chelsea need to bin Havertz as soon as possible. And I remember saying in that video, get like 25, 30 million from him, run. I couldn't fathom the fact they could get 65 million pounds for this type of player. Like, look at Nico Pepe for Arsenal, right? Pepe was Arsenal's record signing for 72 million pounds. And he did not live up to the heights, the expectations at all at Arsenal Football Club. If we're to sell Nicolas Pepe, we'll be lucky to get 25 million for him. Lucky to get 25 million. A similar thing could be said for Kai Havertz at Chelsea. He cost Chelsea 90 million across all the add-ons, etc., bonuses, 90 million pounds. It's fair to say he's not lived up anywhere near that 90 million pound budget. Yet Chelsea are going to recuperate just over 2/3 of that figure in 65 million pounds for him. That's a good return for Chelsea. For a player that hasn't lived up to expectations, equally gave them a Champions League with his final goal, with his goal in the final against Man City, and they're still going to get 65 million for him. I think Chelsea will be rubbing their hands after that one. They've done some really good outgoing business this summer for sure already. Chelsea Football Club already selling Edouard Mendy as well, Kante, players like that, man. Hakim Ziyech, Kovacic. Now you're looking at, of course, Kai Havertz as well. Mason Mount could go. So Chelsea's outgoings are doing really well, to be fair to them, with the transfer policy they've got. For Arsenal, we got to deal with the line. And the other thing that annoys me, right, and a lot of Arsenal fans will say, this doesn't matter, this doesn't concern our club, but I think it does to an extent. We're helping to ease Chelsea's FFP allegations, and we're potentially helping them fund the Caicedo deal. We know Caicedo to Chelsea is pending. Chelsea are just waiting to submit a proper bid. I'm telling you, as soon as they get the Kai Havertz £65 million money, cash in, they're spending that on Caicedo. I'm telling you right now, when I've said all along Caicedo was the better option for Arsenal. I've said that from the start. So that does hurt me up inside. I can't lie. The fact that we're like helping our enemy get another player. Do you get what I mean? So like, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. I'm not going to delve too much into it. But at the end of the day, Kai Havertz will become an Arsenal player subject to medical. I do expect this deal to get wrapped up. If not the end of this week, early next week, definitely for sure. And he will be with Arsenal before the preseason starts. Arsenal fans, let me know your thoughts in the comment section on it. I'd absolutely love to hear it. Are you for this? Are you against this? Either way, let me know. My welcome to Arsenal Kai Havertz video will be coming out as soon as the deal is finalised. His strengths, weaknesses, and his potential Arsenal fit. It's a great video. I do it for loads of players. Been doing it for the past 2-3 seasons. You can check out the previous ones on my channel if you want to. I've done some for obviously Jakub Kiwior recently, as well as Jorginho as well. So yeah, make sure you check out that video as well. I've done it for Trossard as well during January. I've been Wi-Fi Boy. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're new around here. Drop a like down below so this video gets out to more people in the algorithm. And I hope to see you all in my next one. Take care.